So let me start the cinema. Sir, in the last sessions, we completed already modifiers concept. Now let me go for the next level concept. Okay, interfaces. Interfaces. Okay, this is just theoretically. Okay, not required to keep much explanation. So theoretically, what is the meaning of interfaces? Sir, here, anyone can you please define what is an interface? Can you please confirm, sir? Can you define what is an interface? Yes, friends. Yes. Can you define what is an interface? Okay, sir. Very simple. Very simple, sir. So any service requirement specification. Yes, good. Any service requirement specification requirement specification is considered as interface. Okay, yes or yes. Any service requirement specification is considered as an interface. Okay, best example, sir. I want to communicate with the database. I want to communicate with the database from my Java application. Okay, I have Java application is there. I want to communicate with the database. Assume that with the Oracle database I want to communicate. So to communicate with the Oracle database, so which methods are required? Which methods are required? So that the total specification, who is going to provide the JDBC API itself is the responsible to provide. Okay, so if you want to communicate with the database, sir, with any database, so the required methods is defined inside JDBC API. JDBC API acts service requirement specification to communicate with the database. Remember this one, sir. Any database. So it may be Oracle database, or it may be sorry, it may be Oracle database, or it may be MySQL database, like any database. If you want to communicate with the database, so all required methods and the interface, all the required methods are defined as a part of JDBC API. Who is the responsible to provide implementation? This one, database vendor is the responsible to provide implementation, right? Sir, who defined this JDBC API? Okay, Java people define JDBC API. Next, database vendor is responsible. To provide implementation. Remember this one. So just what is the meaning of interface? Any service requirement specification. Boss, it is the requirement specification for a particular service. I want to communicate with the database. So this is my I want some service requirement specification. So which methods are required? That complete information where it is available inside JDBC API. So like JDBC API itself is the responsible. Okay, for that. Now who is the responsible to implement these things? Is do you know, sir, database vendor is the responsible to communicate to implement them. Best example here, just have a look once, sir. Assume that Java people are some people, but now it is the Oracle. Anyway, Java people define the JDBC API. Okay, here we require JDBC API. Okay, we require to communicate with the Oracle database. Assume that I want to communicate with the Oracle database, MySQL database, or what DB2 database. Assume that to communicate with the database, compulsory some software must be required. Okay, some software must be required, sir. So from Java application, if you want to communicate with the database, some software must be required. That the software requirement specification is sir JDBC API. Now, who is the responsible to provide implementation, sir? Database vendor is the responsible. That software is by default considered driver software. Okay, are you getting right? So what that software is? Driver software. We can use the words. This is what the driver software, right? So Oracle people, sir, provide the driver software to communicate with the Oracle database. Okay, assume that if the Oracle database to communicate with Oracle database from Java application, some software must be required. That software is responsible, is implemented by okay Oracle people. Now that is called Oracle driver. Okay, like same. So it is JDBC API simply acts a requirement specification. Okay, to communicate with the database, which is nothing but JDBC API. Remember that, sir. So from Java application, if you want to communicate with the database, some special software must be required. That software is called a driver software. This driver software, where the specification is available for the driver software, JDBC API is the specification. Yes, Swarup, are you getting the point? Swarup. Okay, so JDBC API defined by Java people, but implemented by who is the responsible to provide implementation? Who is the responsible to provide implementation? That implementation is going to take care by vendor. Yes, Swarup. So if you want to communicate with the database, sir, do you know you are always going to use driver manager.get connection. Now you are going to get connection object. Next connection dot create statement. Now you will get statement object like so all those implementation classes specific to Oracle provided by who is the responsible to provide? Database vendor is the responsible to provide. That software is by default considered the driver software. Yes, Swarup. Very simple, man. Very simple. To communicate with the database from Java application, something must be required. That thing itself is the driver. Once who is the responsible to provide driver? Database vendor. But where the specification is available, that specification provided by Java people in the form of JDBC API. Okay, same. Now this is the driver software for Oracle database. Assume that tomorrow MySQL database is there, MySQL DB is there. Now I require some driver software for MySQL DB. Regarding this is the driver software for MySQL DB. Who is the responsible? Driver software for MySQL DB. Who is the responsible to provide implementation? MySQL people are responsible, or otherwise some third-party person may provide this facility also. Okay, but all these driver softwares to implement the driver software, where the specification is available, that specification itself is nothing but JDBC API. Do you know we have two packages are there? Okay, java.sql package, next java x.sql package, java x.sql package. Here it contains several interfaces. These interfaces implemented by this driver software. So connection is there, itself is an interface. Statement is there, itself is an interface. Result set is there, itself is an interface. Have you observed? Connection is an interface. Next, do you know statement is an interface. Result set is an interface. Whatever you are using in our applications, these things are interfaces, right? But who is the responsible to provide implementation for this? Who is the responsible to provide implementation for these things? Do you know these database vendors are responsible? So any service requirement specification is by default considered okay interface to communicate with the database. Whatever service, whatever software is required, that specification is defined by JDBC API. Sir, friends, anyone having the doubt? You respond. Anyone having the doubt? Yes, no, clear, right? Okay. Next, similarly, just a basic idea sake only I'm providing that. Next, similarly, sir, I want to develop one web application. I want to develop one web application. Next, to run that web application, we require web server, web container. Remember this one, sir. If you want to run web application, Java-based web application, servlets and JSP components can be understandable by web container. Web container. Okay, like so to develop sir web container. So specification must be required. That specification itself is nothing but servlet API. Remember this one, sir. That specification itself is nothing but servlet API. Servlet API. Who is the responsible to define the servlet API? Java people are responsible to define this one, sir. Java people are responsible to define. Next, who is the responsible to provide implementation? Is do you know, sir? Web server vendors are responsible. Okay, like Tomcat people, Apache Tomcat people provided implementation, that is called Tomcat server. Okay, assume. Next, WebLogic people or otherwise Oracle people are responsible to provide implementation. Their server is by default considered WebLogic server. Okay, just observe WebLogic server. Okay, like similarly, sir, here do you know? Similarly, here some IBM people are responsible to provide implementation. That software component is called WebSphere server. Okay, WebSphere server, like WebSphere server. Okay, like so servlet API acts as implementation, acts as specification to implement the web server. Remember this one, sir. Okay, web server, right? Now my question is just take very special care. Sir, today I developed one web application, right? This web application currently running in the Tomcat. Now listen very carefully. Sir, today I developed a web application currently running in the Tomcat. Tomorrow I want to migrate this application from Tomcat to WebLogic. Okay, I want to move this application from Tomcat to WebLogic. Sir, can you please confirm if this application is going to run or not? Yes, friends, is it going to run or not? Yes, because the reason is all these web containers developed based on the same specification. That specification is servlet API. Okay, who defined these specifications? Java people defined this specification. I hope everyone in the position to understand. Yes, are you getting the point? Java people responsible to define servlet API. Okay, who is the responsible to provide implementation? Web server vendors are responsible to provide implementation. Take very special care about this terminology, friends. Okay, well, so now my question is now this is the very important point, sir. So here this is the very important point. So to develop any software, some specification must be required. That specification we can represent by using API concept, which is nothing but a group of interfaces. Have you remembered API? What is that I? Can you please confirm what is that I? Application programming interfaces. Regarding application programming interfaces, remember this one, sir. So it is a group of sir interfaces which define specification to develop a particular software. That's what you people should aware clearly, right? Okay. So now for the first definition, what is interface? Any service requirement specification is by default considered as an interface. Any doubt about this one? Clear for all of you, right? Sir, this is the first thing what you people should aware, right? Okay, like Swarup is asking some doubt. Sir, connect here, just connect here, sir, connector method is there in driver interface, but where is the implementation? But where is the implementation? Yes, connector method is there in the driver interface, but where is the implementation? So here, do you know, there is every vendor is the responsible to provide implementation class for a driver. Okay, in that driver implementation class, the corresponding methods are implemented. So result set is there. Result set, result set. Can you show? It is not JDBC class for you. Getting what you have to take? You are going to keep OJDBC 14.jar, OJDBC 16.jar, something like OJDBC 14 or 16.jar in your class path, right? Whenever you are executing JDBC programs. Yes, OJDBC 14.jar or OJDBC 16.jar, some jar file we are taking in the class path, right? If it is the MySQL, we are using MySQL connector, J connector, like extract those jar files, So in those jar files, the corresponding implementation classes you can see. Okay, dot class files will be there. Open that dot class file by using decompiler. Then how it will be there, you can get internally how they are implementing. So, but anyway, compulsory interfaces we can't use unless and until if there is no implementation, you can't. Compulsory for every interface implementation is there, then only okay we should remember it. So now this is the first thing. Okay, like suppose there is another same point only. Okay, we have to take just observe a client came. Sir, here a client came with some requirements. Just observe carefully. A client came up with some requirement. What the requirement? What is the requirement is? He required some college automation software. Assume that college automation software is running one college. So he required some automation software, college automation software. So in that he required some services. Sir, I want attendance of the student. Next, and after that, marks related to the student. Next, get a fee details. Get a fee details of the student. Get a fee details. Next, sir, I should be in the position to update fee details. Fee details I have to update. Fee details I have to update. Something like he came up with these are the services. 100 services I required. Like he came up with some requirements. So now this requirement specification itself is an interface, friends. Okay, remember this one. This requirement specification itself is an interface. Okay, client point of view, an interface defines the set of services what is expecting. Okay, from client point of view. An interface defines the set of services. What he's expecting. Boss, I'm expecting these services like from client point of view. An interface defines the set of services what is expecting. Okay. Now here just observe that these things provided, provided by, implemented by some software vendor. Assume that, sir. Okay, assume these things are provided, implemented by durgasoft. Assume that, sir. So if it is implemented by durgasoft is considered the service provider. Okay, service provider point of view, an interface defines from service provider point of view. An interface defines service provider point of view. An interface defines the set of the set of services what is offering. An interface defines the set of services what is offering. Remember that. So client point of view, interface is always going to define the set of services what is expecting. Service provider point of view, an interface defines the set of services what is offering. Okay, like so interface acts as contract between client and the service provider. Okay, remember this one, sir. Any contract between client and the service provider. Any contract between client and service provider acts as interface only. Remember that. Any contract between client and service provider acts as an interface. Remember very carefully about this terminology. Any explanation is required? Can you please confirm? Yes. So what is an interface? Okay, like from client point of view, array these are the services what I'm expecting. From service provider point of view, these are the services what I'm providing implementation. Even if you want, you can cross check, sir. So Java people point of view, these are the services required to communicate with the web server or to develop web server. Web server vendor point of view, this is the implementation for this requirement specification. Okay, like this is a Java people point of view. This is the requirement to implement a driver which can be used to communicate with the database. Now, vendor point of view, this is the implementation. Right? So, the client and the service provider in the middle, which thing acts as a contract, that thing itself is by default considered as an interface. Clear, right? Yeah, Swarup, correct. Correct. It's always going to consider that class file from jar which is there inside class file. Yeah. So that's all this is. Next, one more definition is there, sir. Up to this, we provided two definitions. Any service requirement specification by default considered as an interface. Next, any contract between client and service provider itself is considered as an interface. Next, one more thing is also there, friends. One more definition is also there. What that point is? Yes, sir, this point is also a bit very important point. What that is? Take a bit special care about this one. So you know, in the olden days, the people are going to use interface contains only abstract methods. Only abstract methods. Correct, right? At our childhood somewhere you may aware about this one, sir. Interface defines only abstract methods. Only abstract methods, sir. So in the abstract class can contain both abstract methods and the concrete method, but interface can contain only abstract methods. Hence interface acts as 100% pure abstract class. 100% pure abstract class. Some people are telling this definition also. Okay, Neha. Some people are telling like this, but anyway, as of now, in the updated versions, we may not accept this definition. Remember this one. What the reason for that is? So in the recent versions, Java 8. Okay, in recent versions, Java 8, Java 9, okay, like there are multiple changes are there with respect to interfaces. That's why, so this definition may not be accepted as of today. Remember this one, sir, because inside interface, we can take static methods. Inside interface, we can take static methods, even private static methods we can take. Inside interface, we can take a default methods we can take. That's fine. So these methods having implementation. That's why 100% pure abstract class, such type of terminology up to Java 7 it is acceptable, but Java 8 onwards we can't use this definition. Clear, right, friends? So what is an interface? Okay, like now the next term. That's all this is. So if any person is asking, sir, what is an interface? A simple answer you can tell: any service requirement specification or otherwise any contract between client and service provider, we can represent by using interface concept. That's all. This is what you people should aware. Now my question is, take very special case, sir. So now this is just a theoretical. For the exam point of view, for the certification point of view, no one is going to talk about these things for certification, but the remaining things are very important. Those things you people should aware, sir. Okay, like next one more very important doubt from most of the people, not only from Bhaskar is asking the doubt, but not only from Bhaskar, from most of the people this doubt is there, friends. What the doubt is, sir, in the old versions abstract class contains both the concrete and abstract methods, both the concrete and abstract methods, abstract methods. But interface contains only abstract methods. So there is a difference is there between abstract class and interface in the old versions. But in the new versions, interface contains both the abstract and concrete methods, concrete methods. Then what is the difference between interface and abstract class? Oh, there are multiple differences are there. Still abstract class is the top level. Abstract class is sir, what we call implementation person, but interface is unimplemented person only. What is the reason for that? There are multiple differences are there. For that, first you should aware what is the default methods concept. Okay, default methods concept. And then what is the need, what is the need of static methods, like these type of things. Why these things are allowed inside interface? If you aware, then sir, this example is going to be meaningful, right? So the point here is take very special case, sir. I will ask only one question. Abstract class can contain instance variables. Remember this one. Abstract class can contain instance variables which are required for the child class object, but interface can't. But interface cannot. Remember this one. But interface can't. This is. But still, Java 11 interface also. Interface never contain instance variable. Every variable present inside interface is always public static final. Remember that. Next, abstract class can contain constructor, but interface can't. Remember this one. But interface can't like. Okay, as of Java 11 version also. Next, abstract class can contain instance block but interface can't. But interface cannot. Are you getting? Bhaskar, still are you feeling abstract class and interface both are same? No, multiple differences are there. Still interface is the top level entity. Next, abstract class is the implemented person. Just because of default methods, just because of static methods, don't feel abstract class and interface both are same. No. Can you please confirm? Everyone in the position to understand, right? Yo, friends, respond. Okay, that's all. Now theoretically okay, but anyway, for the exam sake, which things are required, that part you have to take a bit special care. Okay, declarations here, and declaration and the implementation. Just aware these points. Now, yeah, Bhaskar, what do you doubt? Abstract class also can contain only abstract method. Then what is the difference between interface and abstract class? Oh, Bhaskar, correct, Bhaskar. Have you remembered, right? Some days before, I covered one. I shared one link for you people, one link I shared. Interface and abstract class loopholes. Okay, sir, this is the link I shared with you people. 1 minute.
You want to learn all the skills and techniques you need to create incredible.
This is the most valuable. Definitely, it's going to be very helpful for you people. Just can you please have a look once about the questions what are going to be covered in these few videos? Yes, Bhaskar. Can you please, what is the role of new keyword and role of constructor? Next, whenever we are creating child class object, whether parent object will be created or not. Whenever we are creating child class object, what is the need of executing parent class constructor? Next, anyway, we can't create object for abstract class either directly or indirectly, but abstract class can contain constructor. What is the need? Next, anyway, we can't create object for abstract class and interface. Abstract class can contain constructor, but interface is not. Why? Next, can you please read this question? Okay, here just inside interface we can take only abstract methods, but in abstract class also we can take only abstract methods based on our requirement. Then what is the need of interface? That is easy possible to replace interface concept with the abstract class. Getting? Pascal, I hope, is it your doubt? Yes, just go through this. You will get much clarity than my explanation, please. Okay. Definitely you are going to get, sir. Don't worry at all. Okay, just go through that in detail with examples. I explain. With examples I explain. Okay, in detail with examples. So mostly that thing is going to be covered in the last video. I hope better almost hardly 1 hour or 1.5 hour video only. All these things only 1 or 1.5 hour video. So just go through that. Definitely you people are going to get. There are some more important things. This is the link for the playlist. Yeah, friends. Okay, just go through that. Anyway, your doubts by default will be clarified. Majority of the doubts. Yeah. Here, just observe that this part is very important for the exam sake. For the exam sake, please take very special care, sir. Now I'm taking just my requirement is observe that. Okay, I'm trying to take interface. Now here just have a look once. Very important, sir. Interface interrupt. Next, my requirement is public. So here just observe that void m1 is there, and then void m2 is there. Okay, void m1, void m2 is there, sir. Now I'm trying to take class service provider. Okay, implements interrupt. Class service provider implements interrupt, and then void m1 I provided implementation. Yeah. Now take very special care about this terminology, friends. Array interrupt is interrupt, void m1, void m2, class service provider implements interrupt, void m1, like this I'm taking, sir. Now my question is, take very special care about this one. If I use this one, can you please confirm, is it valid or invalid? Is it valid or invalid? Please confirm. Okay, if I can take this one, is it valid or invalid? Okay, invalid. How many mistakes I'm doing? Can you please confirm? Very important point, sir. How many mistakes I'm doing, sir? Here 2 mistakes we are doing. Here we are doing 2 mistakes. 2 mistakes we are doing. What is the reason for that? Why 2 mistakes we are doing, sir? The first mistake here is every method present inside interface is always public by default. Is always public. is always public, sir. Every method inside interface is always public by default. So at the time of implementation means overriding. Implementation abstract to non-abstract overriding. While overriding, we can't reduce scope of access modifier. Remember this one. We can't reduce scope of access modifier. So while overriding, we should maintain same scope or more scope. Same scope or more scope we have to take. Now take very special care, sir. Now here we are implementing M1, but we are not declaring public. This is the first mistake what we are doing. Remember this one. Array one method I implemented, but you didn't implement properly. Whenever we are implementing any interface method, compulsory we should declare that method as public. Remember this one, sir. Whenever we are implementing an interface method, compulsory we should declare, compulsory, okay, compulsory we should declare that method, compulsory we should declare that method, as public, because by default every interface method is always public, sir. So whenever we are implementing interface method, compulsory we should declare that method as public, otherwise the code is not going to compile. Remember this one, sir, because every method present inside interface is always by default public, sir. Okay, now have a look once, sir. One mistake we identified, one mistake, sir. Okay, now here just observe. Okay, 1 minute, let me update to my Java 11. Every day we require to set like this instead of that. Yeah. So here just observe, set path is equal to, okay, like I'm trying to take. Now take very special care about this one. What's my requirement here is, now just observe that, sir. Let me compile this one. Let me compile Java C service provider dot Java. Java C service provider dot Java, like this I'm taking. Sir, here just observe, this point is the very important, sir. This is the very important point. What the compile time error we are getting here is, observe carefully. Okay, the first compile time error here we are getting. Now observe, M1 in service provider can't implement M1 in interrupt, attempting to assign weaker access privileges was public. This is the first problem what we are getting. Remember this one, sir. This is the first problem we are getting. Now to prevent, to overcome this problem, what we have to take here is, let me declare this one as public. Remember that. So let me take as a public. Sir, can you please tell, sir, now the problem will be solved or not? Right? First problem will be solved or not? Yes. Okay, first problem will be solved related to method implementation. Okay, like now, but still another problem is there. What is that problem is, sir, you are telling you signed to implement interrupt. You are telling that whenever you are using the word implement interrupt, you are telling compulsory you require to provide implementation for both methods. But you provided implementation only for M1. What about M2 method? You provided, you are telling that, sir, you provided implementation only for M1. What about M2 method? Like this is the problem you are going to get. Now have a look once. What is the second problem? Of course, here now earlier two problems are there, but now you are going to get only one problem. What is that problem is, now have a look once, sir. Now have a look once about this point. Sir, what is the point here is, service provider is not abstract and does not override abstract method abstract method M2 abstract method M2 in intra and does not override abstract method M2 in intra. This is the problem we are going to get. Remember this one, sir. So does not override abstract method M2 in intra. This is the problem we are going to get. How you can solve this problem? Very simple, sir. You have two solutions are there. Solution number one. So whenever we are implementing an interface, for each and every method, compulsory we should provide implementation. If you are unable to provide implementation for at least one method, better to declare class as abstract. Remember this one. Better to declare class as abstract. Class as abstract. This is a very important point, sir. Or provide implementation for second method. If you provide implementation for both methods, no problem at all. Happily the code is going to compile. Yes, I provided implementation for both methods. Remember this one. So if you are unable to provide implementation, then automatically declare the class as abstract. Now observe. Yes, now also it is going to be valid. So the most valuable, very important points for you people. The most valuable, very important point. Whenever we are implementing an interface, compulsory we should provide implementation for every method of that interface. Otherwise, declare the class as abstract. Okay. Then who is the responsible to provide implementation? Next level child classes are responsible to provide implementation, right? Remember this one. Who is the responsible to provide implementation? Next level child classes are responsible to provide implementation, right? Now observe the class sub-service provider. Class sub-service provider extends service provider. Class sub-service provider extends service provider. Now I'm trying to provide implementation for M2 method. That's all. Now have you observed? Here never talks about implementation, but this person talks about implementation. But this person talks about implementation now, but not completely. Partial implementation, abstract. But this person talks about complete implementation. That's why this class is the concrete class. You getting right? Yes, friends. So is it valid or not? Service provider internally contains M2 method, which is abstract. It is already contained M2, which is abstract method. Pascal. Okay, now have a look once. Happily the code compiles fine. We are unable to see that method. Now I have one small question. Class sub-service provider is there. This sub-service provider class contain M1 method or not? What answer you can tell? Yes, M1 method is there or not? Yes, same way service provider contain M2 method because implement center of means parent class methods by default available here in the same style. So we are not required to have M2 separately because from the parent it is coming. Next, why you are taking abstract? Why you are taking this abstract? If a class contain at least one abstract method, then we have to declare. Where is that abstract method? By default, that abstract method M2 is available from the parent. Getting? Yes, friends. Yeah, that's all. So just these are two important conclusions what you people should aware whenever we are implementing an interface. Remember this a bit very carefully, sir. If you are implementing an interface, two things you have to take care. So every method at the time of implementation, we should declare this method as a public. Next, the compulsory, we have to provide implementation for both methods. If you are unable to provide implementation for at least one method, better to declare class as abstract. Then the missing methods, child class is the responsible to provide implementation. Remember this one, the child class is the responsible to provide implementation. Any doubt? So this is how you can declare and implement an interface, but from this you can get multiple questions for the exam. Take very special care these rules, friends. Okay, well. Next, one more thing, extends versus implements. Remember very carefully, sir. Extends versus implements. Where we have to use extends keyword, where we have to use implements keyword. This is also very important terminology. So you know, a class can extend how many classes at a time? I respond. A class can extend how many classes at a time? Can extend how many classes can extend? Only one class at a time. Remember this one, sir. A class can extend only one class at a time. Next, sir, here do you know a class can implement. A class can implement how many interfaces at a time? A class can implement how many interfaces at a time? Any number of interfaces. Any number of interfaces at a time. Remember this one. Next, sir, here just observe. An interface can extend any number of interfaces. Interface can extend another interface. Remember this one, sir. Sir, best example. If I consider here interface A I'm taking. Next, interface B I'm trying to take. Interface B. Next, interface C extends A comma B. Can you please confirm? Is it valid or not? Respond. Is it valid or not? Yes, perfectly. This one is the valid. No problem at all. An interface can extend any number of interfaces acceptable. Remember this one. An interface can extend any number of interfaces. No problem at all. Next, sir, here now observe. A class can extend another class. A class can extend another class and can implement any number of interfaces. Simultaneously. Is it valid or not? Can you please confirm? Simultaneously. Okay, a class can extend another class and can implement any number of interfaces simultaneously. Yes, this one is also acceptable. No problem at all. Remember this one. Can an abstract class extend any number of interfaces? Yes, Bhaskar. Bhaskar, any class, it may be abstract class or it may be concrete class. Any class can implement any number of interfaces. Extend cannot be used between class and interface. An abstract class can implement any number of interfaces, no problem at all. Okay. So any doubt about these four statements? Can you please confirm? Yes. Any doubt about these things? Okay. Now maybe which of the following are true? Which of the following are true or valid? Like I'm asking, sir. Now the first option, a class can. Okay, second option. Now the third option I'm taking. Now the fourth option, like that. Okay, now observe, a class can extend only one class at a time. A class can implement any number of interfaces at a time. An interface can extend any number of interfaces. A class can extend another class and can implement any number of interfaces simultaneously. What is the answer we are going to get here is all of these. All of these. All of these. But the answers are E. Remember it. Any doubt? Okay. Now, just I want to go for one more theoretical point. Now take a bit very special care about this one. Which of the following are true? A class can extend any number of classes at a time. Any number of classes at a time. A class can extend any number of classes at a time. Okay. An interface can extend only one interface at a time. Only one interface at a time. A class, an interface can extend only one interface at a time. Next, a class can implement only one interface at a time. Only one interface at a time. Next, a class can extend a class. A class can extend another class, or can implement an interface, but not both simultaneously. Okay, like but not both simultaneously. Next, an interface can implement any number of interfaces at a time. Any number of interfaces at a time. Any number of interfaces at a time. Okay, like can you please tell among these options which option is the true? Please confirm. Yes. Among these, which option is true? Now I can use the word none of these. Yeah, wonderful bit. So, which are valid combinations, which are invalid combinations? Both the things are, yes, are getting both the things are clear for you in the form of conclusions. Okay, remember. So, a class can extend only one class at a time. A class can implement any number of interfaces at a time. An interface can extend any number of interfaces, like compulsory you people should be aware. Sir, are you feeling any doubt about this? Friends? Okay. Well, can I go for next point? Yes. If you are having anywhere doubt, please let me know. If you are having anywhere doubt, can you please let me know? Okay. Now here just observe carefully. Okay. Now my question is, okay, maybe a chance. Okay, these are things are not required to keep much explanation about these terminology, right? Now I have one small question is there. Okay, what's my question is, interface A contain public void m1 method is there. Interface B contain public void m2 is there. Interface C extends A comma B public void m3 is there. Okay, that's all. Now my requirement is, so if any class implementing C interface, for how many methods it should provide implementation. Okay, so consider the following code. Consider the following code. Interface A, interface B, interface C extends A comma B, A comma B. So if any class implementing C interface, if any class implementing C interface, then how many methods it should provide implementation? Then how many methods it should provide implementation? How many methods it should provide implementation? Sir, here just are which methods? The implementation class of C, the implementation class of interface C should provide implementation. Any concrete class implementing C interface should provide implementation for. Okay, like sir, 3. Sir, is it for how many methods? Only for M3. Of course, I will change the narration anyway. Only for M3. Next, only for M3. Next, and after that, only for M2 and M3. Only for M2 and M3. Next, for all 3 methods. For all 3 methods, M1, M2 and M3. For all 3 methods, M1 and M2 and M3. So next, D, only for M3, M2 for all 3 methods, M1, M2, M3. So here not required to provide implementation. Not required to implement any method. Now observe a bit carefully about this terminology. Maybe here I may require to change the narration. So if any concrete class implementing C interface, then how many methods it should provide implementation? Then which methods should provide implementation only for M3, only for M2 and M3. For all 3 methods, M1, M2, M3, not required to implement any method. So just the answer should be C. Any doubt? Observe that here. Do you know, most of the people are going to feel, sir, here also some people are having the doubt, sir, a class can extend but interface can't extend. For the interface we should require to use implements keyword, like some people may have the doubt. No, here just observe interface, and the interface in the middle, which keyword we require to use are extends keyword only. Okay, like next, here my possibilities are, next my question is, consider the following coding snippet. The following coding snippets. Sir, what I'm taking, x extends, here x extends y, x extends y. Consider the following coding. Consider the following expression. Consider the following syntax. Okay, it is not coding snippet, just a syntax. X extends y. For which of the following possibilities of x and y, possibilities of X and Y, the above syntax is valid. The above syntax is valid. The above syntax is valid. Okay, like I'm taking some. Now, first option, both X and Y, both X and Y should be both X and Y should be classes. Both X and Y should be classes. Okay, like it should be classes. Okay, if it is valid if and only if X and Y are only classes. Okay, like or should be classes. Both X and Y should be interfaces. Next, both X and Y should be either classes or interfaces. Okay, next, sir, third option, no restriction. We can take class or interface anywhere. Can you please guide which one is the correct? Please confirm. Can you please guide which is the correct? Yes, here X extends Y. A class can extend another class. An interface can extend another interface. Remember this one. A class can extend another class. A class can extend interface can extend another interface. Like so, both X and Y should be classes. No, both X and Y should be interfaces. Yes, both X and Y should be either classes or interfaces. So, which one is the correct answer? Please confirm. Here should be classes. Should be classes mean it is applicable only for classes. No, it is applicable for interfaces also. So both X and Y should be interfaces. No, it is applicable for classes also. That's why. So answer, we can use the word C. Nagateja. Have you observed, right? So you can take both X and Y should be either classes you can take or interfaces we can take. So option is there. Okay, if I'm using this, it is applicable only for classes, not applicable for interfaces. Both X and Y should be classes, but not interfaces. That is the meaning it is reflecting. Both X and Y should be interfaces, but not the classes. That is the meaning it is. Both X and Y should be either classes or interfaces. No restrictions we can take class or interface anywhere. Clear? Any doubt? Okay. Now here just observe. Directly you have to tell, sir, consider the following syntax. X extends Y comma Z. For which of the following possibilities of X, Y and Z, the above syntax is valid. Okay. Now options anyway later we can take. Only one option I'm taking. Directly valid option. Can you please tell all X, Y, Z, all X comma Y comma and Z should be interfaces. Remember this one, should be interface. An interface can extend any number of interfaces, but a class can't extend multiple interfaces. So that's why. So this is anyway. I will frame some more options. So don't worry. Answer A itself is the valid, right? Next, here I'm trying to take. Sir, consider the following syntax. Consider the following syntax. X implements Y comma Z. For which of the following possibilities are X, Y and Z, the above syntax is valid. Can you please confirm what the answer? X should be class and Y comma Z should be interfaces. Correct, right? A class can implement A class can implement any number of interfaces like that. Okay. Now here just observe. Now here, what is my next possibility? Okay, what is my next possibility? X extends Y implements Z. X extends Y implements Z. For which of the following? X should be, X and Y should be classes, and Z should be interface. Correct? Can you please confirm or respond? X extends Y implements Z. X extends Y implements Z. Okay. Next, I'm taking one more. X implements Y extends Z. Extends Z. For which of the following possibilities of X, Y, Z, the above syntax is valid? It is always invalid under Rige's compile time error. Correct? Yes, this one is the invalid Rige's compile time error. Okay, because implements and extends if you are using both simultaneously, compulsory. Okay, extends we have to take first, and then implements the next. That's it. Okay, so there ends I mean just a declaration syntax. Next, in the next session I will add some more things. Okay, right sir, thanks.